Hey everyone, Kathy here, and I thought I'd do another little pottery video for you today. I made these cute little toad houses for our garden yesterday. Here, I'll show you if I can get it down carefully. So this is one. Oops. This is one I made. Looks like a regular little house. I put a little butterfly up on the top of it. You can see the bottom is all open with a little doorway for the toad to go in and out. So that's one. And then the one I'm going to try to recreate for you today is this little pumpkin-shaped toad house with the little stem. I've got a leaf that I cut out of clay. He's got his little name, Toady, up on top. And really cute, shaped like a pumpkin. So that's the one I'm going to try to show you how I did it today. I'm not a professional potter. I am self-taught by watching YouTube videos. Go figure. So bear with me. This may or may not work as far as getting the pumpkin shape again. Like I said, I'm not production potter. I'm not into making the same thing over and over and over and over again. I just kind of make what I feel like. If it turns out great, if it doesn't, great. So anyway, quit rambling. I'm going to try not to talk a lot during this video. Just let you listen to the music I put on and just watch me spin. I'll kind of give a description of what I'm doing from time to time, but mostly just let you watch. So I've started out here. I've got 4 pounds of stoneware clay, and I've got it on the wheel here. Now what I'm going to do is center the clay on the wheel. Getting my hands a little wet, getting the clay wet. I'm basically going to cone up and down maybe a couple times. It's moving the clay up and down. I have a hard time doing any more than this because I just don't have the strength in my arms and hands. So, and then we'll push it down. You feel the clay start to stick to your hand. You want to add a little more water. And you're basically centering it on the wheel so it doesn't have a wobble, right? You want it nice and centered. Pretty much like so. So I really only had to do that once. That's pretty good. So what I'm going to do is take some of this excess off the edge here. Just clean that up a little bit. As clean as you can get when you're playing with mud. So normally when you're doing a bowl or something, you're going to want to, like, they call it drilling down to like within a 1/4 inch of the bat or 1/2 inch of the bat, depending on what you're making. But with these toad houses, I'm going to go all the way down till I touch the bat. Because the inside is going to be all open, right? I don't need a bottom on these because they're going to sit on the ground. So we'll go down with my thumbs in the center a little bit, and then I'm going to put some water in there just to keep it lubricated. I'm going to go down as far as I can go with my thumbs. A little bit more water. And then down with my finger all the way to the bat. Feel the bat, and then I'm going to just pull to the side try and open that up. Pressing, kind of pulling towards this hand. Cleaning some of the clay out of the bottom there. And I see, clean some of this water out. Let's see how this is doing. It's fairly wide, but I'm going to pull it wider. It takes a lot of muscle sometimes to move this clay. So I'm going to take just this little tool. I'm going to kind of clean this edge here inside. And now I'm kind of a weird potter. I like to center and as such do it going counterclockwise, but when I start to actually pull, I like my wheel to go clockwise, so I'm going to turn it in the opposite direction now. Like I said, I'm kind of weird. I think most Eastern cultures throw with the wheel going clockwise from what I've read. I don't know why. But for me, just it's more comfortable to throw this way to pull walls and such. So when you're pulling, you're basically pulling the clay up from the bottom. So you're putting pressure down at the bottom and just gently pulling up the walls. And with this much clay, this is going to take a while. So I'll just continue pulling until I get it where I want it. I'll pull and then I'll push in to kind of keep it going more straight, because otherwise it'll just keep going out. So just continue watching. I'm going to use a sponge, slightly damp sponge, to help me pull from the outside. Leaving it thicker at the top. That will help when it comes to closing it in. Okay, so I think I've kind of got the height I want. Clean some of that water out. I'm going to clean up this edge a bit again. Take some of that clay away. Just a bit. Got it pretty good there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to smooth the inside a bit and the outside using a rib. Just a bit. I'm going to try and get this top in a bit more. And then I'm going to attempt to push it out and get more of a pumpkin-y shape. So, making sure my hand's getting wet on the inside and starting at the bottom, kind of pushing gently out on the clay. I want to get kind of a belly. Not too much, because I think I have it a bit thin. And I'm collaring this in, and then I'm going to try and bring it up a little bit. That's why I leave more clay at the top. I do think I pulled it a bit too much up the sides, because here it's a little thin, so I have to be a little careful. Pulling up a little here and collaring in. I find this very therapeutic. I'm going to try and get some more of this water out of the bottom now first, before I get too far here. And on the inside. So just trying to close the top in. Keeping my hands nice and wet. Slowly but surely. You can see it's almost closed. I'm just going to bring it up a bit more every time. So, let me clean my hands a bit here. So I think we're doing pretty good here on the shape. Once I close it in, then I can kind of push it down and hopefully get more of a belly shape going, because the air will be trapped on the inside. So here we get it closed in. So now all that air is trapped inside. Just trying to get some of this slip off my hands. I mean, I like clay treatments, don't get me wrong, but let's clean this up a bit. Now what I'm going to do is kind of push a bit down as the wheel's turning. And this also helps form the stem a bit. Nice and easy. You don't want to go too crazy. You can see it's kind of rounding out a bit more. And I won't go too far like a totally round pumpkin, but you can kind of see. It helps having that air trapped on the inside. It holds it. It makes the clay not go in, really. You know what I mean? It gives some resistance. And I think we're pretty much there. So, I think that's going to be the shape I'm going for here. I think that's pretty good. So just to kind of finesse the stem a little bit, just gently kind of thinning it out and pulling it up. You don't want to go too crazy or you'll pull it right off the top. It's kind of the same thing as when you're doing a ring holder and you're making this little piece in the center. I think this will be it. Whoopsie, that came off. Went a little too thin at the top. Alright, so I think that's good for the stem. Now I'm going to clean all this slip off of the pumpkin and take a rib to the outside just to kind of smooth everything off. That's pretty good. Now I'll take my metal rib and just kind of get the rest of this slip and smooth it off. Gently. I'm not going to do the stem. And it doesn't have to be too perfect. Pumpkins in nature are not perfect, right? Alright, so that's our pumpkin. And now what we have to do, and I'm going to try and figure out, I think I'll use this wooden tool, and we're going to make the sections of the pumpkin. As you know, all pumpkins are sectioned off. I don't know if there's a technical term for that, but I'm going to start here and just kind of make a line just by pushing, just to mark, and I'm going to come across just to kind of mark where they're going to be, and then again in half, each one again. And this is kind of the finessing part of making the pumpkin. It's not going to be very pretty here in a second. Oops, get back over here. But anyway, we've got it divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sections. Now, what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to use this rib. And we've still got the air in here, so it's still giving you resistance. And you just kind of want to make that groove a little deeper. You want to push in, but not too hard, because you don't want to pop your pumpkin. So you go up and down each one of these a few times. Whoa, well, that's okay. Just to make it a little deeper. You do this a few times. It's different tools at different times, whatever you feel comfortable with making your grooves with. Eventually at the end, I'll end up with my finger. So I think that's pretty good for that. And we'll come back to this tool again now. And I'm going to kind of go on either side of that groove with this rounded part. Kind of making a V dip, a V-shaped dip, kind of. Does that make any sense? Kind of a V-shaped groove. Pushing out a bit. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. And almost went too deep. Whoops. Like I said, it doesn't look pretty yet, but it will look pretty cool in the end. I just thought it would be neat to have some pumpkins out in the garden. And they're not going to be orangey pumpkins. Another thing I think is important is to not glaze them too dark of a color, especially if they're going to be in a sunny spot. Because as we know, black will absorb any kind of heat. And you don't want to fry your toads, right? We're not aiming for frog legs here, you know, if you like that thing. But you want to reflect the heat with lighter colors. So I'm not going to go traditional, like a dark orange or anything on these. I'm going to do some lighter, fun colors. As you can see now, I'm using my finger and thumbs and fingers to kind of smooth those grooves. And then I'll come back with a sponge. To smooth this down. So clean my hands off again. Excuse me. It'll be time to clean my wheel off and tools off here after this. So I just tidy these grooves up. Trying to get extra bits of clay and such out of there. Pretty good. Tidy This one's kind of squatty on the bottom. That's okay. Clean that up. And I think that's pretty good. I don't need to push down anymore because it's squatty enough. I think my grooves are pretty clean. So this is what's known as an enclosed form, for obvious reasons. It's not like a bowl where it's open, or a cup. It's totally enclosed. Now I will, when I'm done here, I will put a pinhole in here just to help it dry a little on the bat. And when it's dry enough, later today, I'll come back and I'm going to cut the door out of the side here. So I'm going to put my pinhole kind of where I'm going to cut that door out, right? But anyway, we're gonna make our stem a little more organic looking rather than some weird thing sticking straight up into the air. So just giving it a little curl, like so. And clean up that little water drip. Like so. Just to make it look more realistic, right? So there we go. And that's my little toad home. I will come back, let me wipe my hands off here. Like the other one, I added a little leaf at the top by scoring and slipping. You score it with a little scratchy tool, add some of the slippy water, and then you score and slip the leaf and put it on. And what I've got is a little cookie cutter here in the shape of a pumpkin leaf. I believe I bought it on Etsy. So that made my little leaf. For the, I don't know where it's at. And you can use any of these kinds of cookie cutters if you want to add, like, you know, a little piece of clay here that says Toad or your family name or something. You could put anything on here with their little letter stamps, which I bought these letter stamps off Sounding Stone, and they snap together so it makes them evenly spaced, which is nice. So I made the word Toady. So I cut my little shape out, stamp it. You can add texture, whatever, score it, slip it, and add it to the top there. And you can use any shape cookie cutter to help do a door. I had grand schemes of making mine look really fancy, like with this one, but I ended up cutting my door out too soon. It was really soft, so I might wait a little longer and do a fancier door on this one. Just let it dry maybe for a whole day first before I do that. But anyway, you also want to I don't have my wire tool, but you want to run a wire underneath, let this dry, come back later. You can, when you're ready to do your door, run a wire underneath it again to get it off your bat, and you know, put your door in and any other touches you want. But pretty much that's it. That's how I make my my little pumpkin. And this one I think turned out a little bigger and better than the other one I did here. I think because I pulled the walls thinner and I got more shape out of it. But anyway, something for you to try if you're into pottery. I will come back on a future video and show you the finished products after they're all glazed and everything. But for now, that's it. I just wanted to show how I made my pumpkins. And here, I'll take this off and give you another look. There we go. Our little squatty toad house. And like I said, I'll put a pinhole in there with my needle tool. Probably want to see that curl as the front, so I will put a pinhole like right here And ooh, you can feel the air come out. But that will help it dry on the bat. And anyway, hope you enjoyed watching me throw this. And you know, if you want to see more, hit subscribe and ring that bell, and you'll be notified of future videos. But for now, that's it for my toad house. And thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on a future video. Bye for now.